Hey there, everybody! Ellen here, and let me tell you, I love dogs. All dogs. Big dogs, little dogs, fluffy dogs, dogs with mohawks. You name it. But today we're talking about a breed that's near and dear to my heart, the Siberian Husky. They're like the clowns of the dog world, full of energy, personality, and a whole lot of fluff. Now imagine your alarm going off. Annoying, right? You hit snooze. But what if your alarm was a furry, four-legged alarm clock with endless enthusiasm? That's a husky for you. Their internal clock says, it's go time, whether you're ready or not. Those bright blue eyes, or brown, or maybe even one of each, they love to be unique, are staring at you, wagging their bushy tails so hard their whole body wiggles. They're ready for adventure, and their excitement is contagious, even before coffee. But here's the thing about huskies. They're stubborn, like really stubborn. So if they decide it's time for walkies before you've had your morning coffee, well, you better believe those puppy dog eyes will turn into a look that says, don't even think about hitting snooze, human. Okay, so you're up, you're dressed, maybe, and you've managed to convince your husky that breakfast comes before walkies. Time to feed the beast. Now remember how I said huskies are full of energy? Well, that energy comes from somewhere. And let me tell you, they love their food. Their ancestors were bred to pull sleds across frozen wastelands, so they've got a hearty appetite. But don't be fooled by their love for food. They're smart cookies, or should I say kibble. They know how to make you think they're starving, even if they just ate. You'll see them side-eyeing you while you're eating, dropping their toys at your feet with a hopeful whine. And don't even get me started on the sad puppy eyes. They're masters of manipulation, but hey, that's part of their charm, right? All right, breakfast is done, and it's finally time for the walk your furry friend has been patiently, or not so patiently, waiting for. Leash on, poop bags in hand, always be prepared, and you're out the door. This is where the husky's true nature shines. Their noses are like built-in GPS systems, sniffing out every squirrel, every fire hydrant, every delicious crumb on the sidewalk. They're on a mission, a sniffari, if you will, to explore every nook and cranny of their urban jungle. And let's be real, those walks are more like a workout for you. Huskies were born to run, and they haven't forgotten their roots, even if their sled is now a leash and their cargo is a poop bag dispenser. Be prepared for some serious pulling, especially if they catch a whiff of something interesting, which, let's face it, is everything to a husky. Section 4, the afternoon siesta. Dreaming of squirrels and snow. After a morning of adventures, even the most energetic husky needs a break. Don't be surprised if your furry friend crashes hard in the afternoon. They'll find the sunniest spot in the apartment, curl up into a perfect circle. How do they do that? And drift off to dreamland. And what do huskies dream about, you ask? Probably chasing squirrels through snowdrifts, pulling sleds with their buddies, and maybe even stealing a treat or two from unsuspecting humans. This is your chance to finally catch your breath, enjoy a cup of coffee, or maybe something a little stronger, no judgment here, and revel in the peace and quiet. Well, except for the occasional snore or sleep howl. Hey, nobody's perfect. Section 5. Playtime. Adventures in the park. As the afternoon sun starts to dip lower in the sky, your husky will slowly but surely start to stir from their nap. They've recharged their batteries and are ready for round 2 of their daily adventures. And what better place to unleash some of that husky energy than the park? The park is like a giant playground for dogs, full of new smells, new friends to chase, and endless opportunities for zoomies. You'll see them sprinting across the grass, playing tug-of-war with their buddies, and maybe even attempting to dig to China, or at least to the other side of the park. A word of advice. If you're taking your husky to the park, make sure you've got a good grip on that leash. Remember what I said about them being strong? They might look like fluffy angels, but they've got the strength of 1,000 tiny wolves, especially when they spot a squirrel daring to eat a nut on their watch. Section 6. Dinner time and the evening howl. A symphony of snorts and sighs. After a long day of playing, sniffing, and exploring, it's finally time for your husky to refuel. And you guessed it, they're just as enthusiastic about dinner as they were about breakfast. You'll hear their stomach rumbling from across the room, and they'll be sitting by their bowl, patiently or not so patiently, waiting for their dinner to magically appear. And once they've inhaled their food, seriously, how do they eat so fast? They'll settle down for a well-deserved evening of relaxation. But don't be surprised if you hear the occasional howl or woo-woo escaping from their furry little mouths. It's their way of communicating with their ancestors, sharing stories of their day, or maybe just expressing their general huskiness. Whatever the reason, it's a sound that's both hilarious and heartwarming, and it's just another reminder of why we love these goofy, energetic dogs so much. Section 7. Goodnight city lights, until our next adventure. As the city lights start to twinkle outside your window, your husky will finally start to wind down for the night. They'll curl up at your feet, on the couch, or maybe even in their own bed, if you're lucky, and drift off to sleep, dreaming of tomorrow's adventures. Living with a Siberian Husky in the city is an adventure. There's no doubt about it. They're a constant source of entertainment, exercise, whether you want it or not, and unconditional love. They'll make you laugh, they'll make you sweat, and they'll steal your heart with their goofy smiles and their zest for life. So if you're thinking about adding a husky to your family, be prepared for a wild ride. But trust me, it's a ride you won't want to miss. Just remember to stock up on tennis balls, invest in a good vacuum cleaner, and maybe start training for a marathon. You're gonna need it. Good night, everybody.